You've probably heard that your freelance portfolio is absolutely critical for success, and not having a portfolio will devastate your chances of landing good clients. Well, I've been doing this a long time, both as a freelancer and as a client. And I can tell you, as a fact, most freelancers' portfolios are scaring away more clients than they're landing. So in this video, I'm going to show you the biggest portfolio mistake that can sabotage a freelancer's career. Plus, I'll reveal how I grew my income to over $1 million in a year without ever posting a public portfolio. My name is Henry Bingaman. I have been a freelancer and independent professional since 2008. In my early days, I struggled so much I almost quit. But then I figured out the secrets and strategies that make high-income freelancing possible. Today, I make videos like these to help new and aspiring freelancers earn more and have a more enjoyable career. So let's talk about portfolios. The fact is, most freelancers get their portfolio totally wrong. Now look, I have been on both sides of the hiring equation. Obviously, I've been the freelancer. However, I've also hired dozens of different kinds of freelancers for myself and my clients over my career. And to understand why most freelancers and independent pros screw up their portfolio, you really have to look at it from the client's perspective. Now here's the thing. When I'm hiring a freelancer, I usually have at least a dozen people to consider. Sometimes it's a lot more. I once had to sort through over 60 applications for a single freelance position. All of those people have multiple pieces in their portfolio. There was no way I was going through all of that and carefully considering each piece in each sample. And I can guarantee that almost no one else is going through all the samples either. Now, maybe a client will glance at them if they're hiring a photographer or designer or something like that. But when it's for writers or developers or any kind of bigger project, forget about it. The truth is, when a client has to look through dozens and dozens of samples in a portfolio, they're looking for reasons to eliminate people. Now, I guarantee I've written off solid freelancers based on one or two little things that just didn't look exactly right. So that means if your portfolio doesn't look perfect, you're competing against any other freelancer, you're losing clients for totally arbitrary reasons. Look, I've seen a lot of people telling freelancers, it's just a numbers game. You just have to get your portfolio in front of enough people and eventually you'll land those clients. Now, I talk a little bit about why that's terrible advice in my video about why freelancers should never use Upwork or Fiverr. But freelancing should not be a numbers game. This is a relationship business. And it's going to be a much easier and longer lasting relationship if it starts out as something other than yours was a portfolio that I didn't reject out of hand. If you post a big public portfolio, you're making it harder on yourself than it needs to be. Plus, there's a chance you're creating the impression that this is like a menu for your clients to choose from. At best, it cheapens your service, makes you more of a commodity. At worst, they don't see what they like on the menu, so they go looking for a different freelancer's menu. Now, there are certain types of freelancers that need some type of portfolio. Photographers, graphic designers, videographers, anything highly visual like that. And look, I'm happy to admit that there are freelancers in those areas who do incredible business just by posting pictures, designs, videos, whatever on social media. But those are the exceptions, and they're usually world-class talents who have been doing it a very long time. And that's great to aspire to, but that's not where most of us start. So for the rest of us mere mortals, if you do post a portfolio, what should it look like? All right, first, it should be story-based. Again, we have to look at this from the client's perspective. And what does a client really want when they're hiring a freelancer? They want a specific job done, and they want it done well. A layer deeper than that, they want to feel confident that they made the right choice by hiring you. And a layer deeper than that, they want a specific result. That may be more money, maybe accolades, or who knows, maybe they want their parents' approval. Whatever it is, you're gonna have a much better chance convincing them that you can help them achieve those deeper desires if you tell them the story of a project instead of just showing them the end result. So how do you tell a story? Here's a very basic formula that will work. My client asked for X, fill in the X. The challenge in getting that done was Y, and what I did to overcome that challenge was Z. Voila, here's the final product. Now, this is about as simple a story as you can manage. If you're a good storyteller, feel free to make it a little more dramatic. But that simple story will make the final project a lot more appealing to prospective clients. It shows that you can think through projects, it shows that you can overcome challenges, and it shows that you can deliver something that a client is happy with in the end. Now, maybe you're saying, Henry, wait, I'm a brand new freelancer. I don't have any client pieces to show in my portfolio. No problem. You can still create a portfolio of sample pieces or spec pieces. You can't say they were for a specific client or that you got paid for them. That would be lying. But you can still create a sample of anything you want and use almost the same formula. There's just one little tweak. Instead of saying the client asked for X, you just say the goal with this project was X. The challenge in getting it done was Y. What I did to overcome that challenge was Z, and then poof, here's the final product. That's almost as powerful. Even though you're taking the client out of it, it's still telling a story. It's still giving context. Now, I promise to tell you how I launched a high-income freelance career without ever having a public portfolio. If you've listened to any of my other client getting videos, you know that I think the best way to get clients is through networking. That's either in person or on LinkedIn or some online groups. So when I was doing this, I'd meet potential clients, and if we'd hit it off, one of the things I always brought up was the same form of these questions. What are the biggest challenges in your business? And what are the biggest opportunities in your business? Now, these weren't fake or forced questions. I've always been genuinely interested in people's businesses, how they grow, how they get stuck, how they fail, how people overcome challenges, and how they tap into opportunities. But either way, because I was asking those questions, I know a little bit about what that potential client wanted. And because I was asking intelligent questions and they could see I really cared about their business, I'd very often get invited to send over a portfolio or some samples. So did I just send them some random samples? Hell no.
Oh, hell no!
I never sent samples. What I would do instead is propose a specific idea for a project that I could work on for them that would help overcome one of their challenges or tap into an opportunity. And along with this proposal, I would attach maybe 500 words of what copywriters call the headline and lead. Maybe I'd send a couple of bullet points from different promotions saying, now in the middle of this promotion, I can see doing bullets like these. Attach the sample there. And then the last part of the proposal would be part of the sales pitch from the end of another piece of copy. And then I would position that as, this has worked really well for me in the past with products like yours. Now, obviously, I didn't have a 100% close rate with this. Some people just aren't good fits. But it worked a lot more often than it didn't, because there are very, very few freelancers who will do anything that involved. And the clients I got this way, it was almost never just a one-off single project. I had earned a ton of trust, and they turned into clients who would pay me tens of thousands, or in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars over a few years. And this isn't just for copywriters. If I were, say, an app developer, I wouldn't just give the client 5 apps that I'd done before to download and play around with. I'd screen record myself demonstrating a couple functions inside of different apps that I'd done, explaining how I would use those functionalities in the app that they want. If I was a photographer, I'd pick different types of poses or concepts from different shoots and explain how I pictured their photo shoot going and how I'd customize it to fit their needs. And again, this method of picking and choosing and sending highly curated samples to the clients along with the proposal, it works whether you have a huge collection of paid client work or if you're literally creating the samples on spec just to show that one client. The main advantage of this is when you're sending a proposal to a client, you're not competing directly against anyone else in that moment. Now, in rare cases, it is possible that the client can take your proposal, give it to a different freelancer or in-house person to execute, and it sucks. But really, that's the easiest way to find out that you wouldn't want to work long-term with that client anyway. Now, what may happen sometimes when you're newer, the client will say, look, I love this idea. Would you be willing to work closely on it with our creative director, copy chief, head developer, marketing director, whatever the position that you would be under is? And what they're saying there is, look, this idea is great, but you seem a little new and I'm not sure I can trust you yet. Can you work with somebody I do trust? Don't be insulted when this happens. Even if you're 100% sure you can do a great job with the project, you're about to get paid to learn from somebody who probably has more experience than you. And even if they don't have more experience than you, they have different experience than you. This is one of the fastest ways to level up your skills as a freelancer. You're getting paid to learn. Plus, you could be making a great contact that could lead to future work down the road. And this is how you become a highly paid pro. You know how else you can become a highly paid pro? By using the right tools, which is why I want to give you 5 free tools that make even brand new freelancers and solopreneurs look like seasoned pros. The free marketing tool I show you in there is one of the best ways to keep a consistent flow of new clients coming in. Just go to henrybing.co/free tools to grab them. Of course, the link is in the description. And then it would be amazing for your career if you add this video to your portfolio of likes and add this channel to your portfolio of subscribes. All right, I'll catch you in the next one.